Alright guys, I haven't posted to the farm channel in quite some time, so this will be the first video I'm finally starting to free up this year. We had one of our chickens get attacked by a chicken hawk. It's January, and so I think the chicken hawks are starting to run out of food, or there's some pressure to get food. I know there's over predatorization here. We have foxes, we have, not in our area, but a couple blocks over, there's coyotes. We've got 2 cats. There's a bunch of feral cats that live around here, and I just think between that and the small hawks or whatever they are, and then the big chicken hawks, there's just not a lot around. So one of our chickens got attacked badly, like a 4-inch gash one direction. We ended up saving it. We had to tape it up with like kind of some tough bandages that I had for knuckles. We basically got all the feathers off, pinched the skin together, and made an X pattern. And then after about 3 or 4 days, we got the band-aids carefully trimmed off, and she's gonna make it. I mean, it's gonna be like movie scar, but so we've had to really pay attention because they've been around a lot. And so I'm gonna make, the whole purpose of this video is I'm gonna make a chicken hide, is what I'm calling it. It's something that's off the ground just as tall as the hens are when they're running. So I don't know what that is, about that tall. And it's gonna be something they can run under if there's a hawk. And I'm hoping that if I build a couple of them, that the chickens can get out under stuff, or out underneath it when there's a hawk. So we have a rooster, but the chickens that were outside the pen are my mom's, and they're free range, and they were down under a tree, and they just didn't see the hawk coming. It was like a surprise attack. I think the bird moved right at the last, and so instead of getting it in the neck, which is where they aim for, it got it across the mid-back. So I think it moved just in time, but not just in time to get sliced open, but just in time not to be killed. My son saw it, jumped over the fence, and then the hawk took off because he was running. So anyways, it's going to be a real simple platform. It may be flat, or I may build a pyramid so the goats can get on it. I'm going to build it strong enough for a goat's to support a goat's weight, but pretty simple structure. So we'll get to it. All right, so the piece of plywood I got off camera is like, I think it's 40 by 38 or 38 by 38. It's just a scrap piece. I don't want to go buy new plywood. So I'm going to break my frame down into something that will fit that. And then what I'm going to do, hopefully you guys can see this, I'm going to rabbet an edge and get the plywood down in the frame, because the goats like to chew on plywood and chip the corners. Right now in the winter, we're having a hard time getting enough roughage. They've got access to hay, but it must not be enough because they're chewing on the plywood. So I'm going to let it down in, and then I'm hoping that they won't be able to chew on this rough framing as easily, get their tooth under it. So that's one of the things I'm going to do. Alright guys, so I'm done with the frame. I had to run to Lowe's because I was out of 2x4s, and they were at $3 and now they're back at $6, so I bought 4. Anyways, we'll show you the rabbeting here. So I'm not too worried about the fact that those rabbets run through. This is just so the plywood will sit down inside here. And I just used 2 screws per side because the top's gonna do a bunch of the screw down duties as well. Probably put a center stretcher in. We'll get back to it. Alright guys, so I just got done with cross braces. I wanted to use up as much scrap as I could, so it looks janky, it's not. There's 2 cross braces in there. Just ripped down some left over here, and then took a board and flipped it sideways. So that's just so the goats won't bust it. So got the top cut, and I'm gonna take it over there and put it on. Alright guys, so I'm gonna belt sand this around the edges just a little bit. Tops down inside the plywood. That way the goats can't eat on it, hopefully. I'm gonna round some of these corners off. This is what it looks like from the bottom. Just some bracing here. And legs are next. So we'll flip this over, get the legs on it, and then we'll do some sanding. Legs are going to be easy. I'm just going to do 2x4s this way and this way. That way they can't break from the goat weight. So easy stuff. And I got to measure chickens. Alright guys, I'm not sure if I showed you guys. Ooh, hold on. Let's try that over again. Alright guys, I'm not sure I showed you the legs yesterday, so we'll go over those real quick. All I did was use two 2x4s nailed in an L. You can see them right there. And that makes them really strong. Basically, I put 2 screws in here, 2 down here, and then 2 up the side. So ridiculously strong. Going to be plenty for the goats. We'll get some green paint on this thing, and I'm going to do a little bit of brown if I can find it, and just, you know, make it not look obnoxious for the neighbors and get it out there for the chickens. Talk to you in a bit. How do I got seeds in there? Alright guys. Oh, wrong way. Alright guys, I'm all done painting. I splattered some brown paint to try to camouflage it. It looks okay. Looks like I painted it dirty and got stuff on it, but what I didn't want was a big green blob for the neighbors to stare at. It's still a big green blob that's got some brown in it, but here it is. So yeah, you can see how the brown didn't really go on as well as I would have liked. I'm not a painter, so I just kind of splattered it on there and then rolled it out. So it'll do. I'll get pictures of it out in the field. I'm going to put it on some blocks out there, let it dry out, running out of sunlight real fast. It's going to get cold tonight, so hopefully the paint doesn't blush, but I'll show you guys either tomorrow morning or tonight. Alright guys, so I had my son help me carry this out here. The goats immediately wanted to chew on it, and so put a little bit of something on there. We'll cover in a later video, a little blurb. But I'll show you guys how small it is. It's small, and it was basically free. If I was paying for one, I would have built something for sure bigger, and will build something bigger, but for now it's okay. But the concept is definitely good, so I'll show you guys here. So you can see how big it is. It's not big enough for more than about, I don't know, 5-6 chickens, maybe even 4 chickens. But the idea for me was sort of a proof of concept, just to see if it would work, if it would support the weight of the larger animals. You can see Whitey there checking it out. He wants to chew on it, but he's going to find out real fast that he doesn't actually want to chew on it. Perfect example there. So, gonna sniff at it, and that'll probably be the last time he does that. Anyways, hopefully this works to keep the chickens a place where they can get away from the hawks. We'll see, you know, long term if it is effective. I definitely want to build a bigger one. So that's the free one there. It's basically 4x4. Definitely needs to be like, I would put 2 pieces together. I would have 8x8, so that would be the size. I'd build them in like 4x8 sections and then put them together. So this is how we're gonna attempt to keep the chickens safe from chicken hawks. Hope this helps somebody. Talk to you guys later.